Hello everybody, I am Attila Tanner. Welcome to a brand new video of Next Talk. I hope you're all doing well. It's been actually 3 weeks since the last video, so we're definitely due for an update. We're gonna talk about the Q1 quarter that was and look at the different indexes, how they performed. Then we're gonna look into a new segment called Mergers and Acquisitions. And here, after that, we're gonna go over the regular reporting. But before we start, we had a question from one of our viewers, Vic. He was asking about backtesting, and I'm gonna go over that a little bit, how it works in general. So everything starts by the quarterly results. So each company does that every 3 months. So whenever that result comes in, it's entered into the computer program I have, and then that gives me a target rate for that company. And then every 2 weeks when we run the report, or every 3 weeks, we are comparing that target rate with where the stock price is at the moment. Is the stock then attractive, or is it considered pricey? So those kind of decisions are being made. And but the question that came from Vic is more to see if we backtest, meaning that when we look back, when we have a new quarterly result coming out, is the previous one we said, how good was those numbers? And actually, I was doing that. I was just not maybe communicating it out. So let's say for US market, we have so far an 88% accuracy. That means in 12% of the cases, it was the opposite. So if we said, you know, it was going to be a buy for a certain company, it could become actually more a sell, or vice versa. And for the Canadian market, it was 93%. So in 7% of the cases, the stock went the other direction, basically, of what we predicted. But any prediction is good for 3 months, and then a new quarterly results comes out, and then we will fine tune towards that new target rate, basically, and then everything restarts. So that's kind of the backtesting. Of course, we want 100% accuracy, we wish, but the closer we get, the better it is, of course. All right, let's look at the different, the quarter that was, Q1, and we're gonna look over the different indexes. So S&P 500 had a good quarter, 7% up. NASDAQ had an even better quarter, 16.8% up. Dow Jones Index was up 4.6%. And Canadian TSX Index was up 3.7%. All right, so that was a good quarter. Hopefully it continues the rest of the year. We shall see. In 3 months, we will look at the Q2 results. But today we're going to go over the mergers and acquisitions. So this is a new segment. In this area, we're going to look at different deals that might happen or plan to happen. So I would say, in general, I mean, there is always a little bit of an upside from what you see. Lower percentage of upside means, of course, it most likely the deal will happen. Very high percentage most likely means it's risk if it's going to happen or not. So always make your own judgment call on those things, but it's kind of an interesting area. For instance, Microsoft wants to buy Activision Blizzard for $95 per share. They're trading around $85 at the moment. This is a $69 billion deal. This is an 11% upside if this deal happens. Broadcom wants to buy VMware for $142.50. They are trading around $126 at the moment. So there's a 13% upside if this happens. This is also a big deal, $61 billion deal. Broadcom also has said that if they can, anybody who has VMware can also get a quarter of a Broadcom share instead of $142.50. Pfizer wants to buy Seagen for $229 per share. They're trading around $205 at the moment. This is an 11% upside at the moment. $43 billion of trade at the moment. Amgen wants to buy Horizon Therapeutic for $116.50. They're trading around $111 at the moment. There is a 4% upside on this one, and the deal is $28 billion. All right, let's look at some other deals. TD wants to buy First Horizon for $25. They are trading around $18 at the moment, so there's a 36% upside. This is a $13.4 billion deal, if it happens. Next one, Manchester United. Of course, now in this case, it's different from all the others. There is no buyer identified at the moment. Well, there is many who wants to buy them. It's not for sure anything will happen. But the owners have said they want to sell it for 6 billion pound, which is 7.5 billion US dollars maximum. And that would mean if the max price would happen, would be for about $45 per share. So that would be almost doubling where the stock is at the moment. So that means, of course, this is high risk. Will it happen? Nobody knows. Next one, Tower Semi. Intel wants to buy them for $53 per share. They're trading around $45 at the moment. So this is about 17% upside. This deal is $5.2 billion. All right, Amazon wants to buy iRobot for $61 per share. They're trading around $42 at the moment with a 46% upside if it happens. The deal size is $1.7 billion. All right, that was the new segment, Mergers and Acquisitions. We're going to go into the regular reporting, starting with the US market and value stocks. ExxonMobil moves up to spot number 1, trade places with Taiwan Semiconductor, who moves down to spot number 2. JP Morgan is number 3. Here we're looking at big companies with high market caps with low priced earnings, so-called stable companies to have in your portfolio. Dividends in the US market, Verizon is number 1, AT&T is number 2, and Tencent is number 3. Growth in the US market, NEO is number 1, Charles Schwab moves up to spot number 2, and Li Auto moves down to spot number 3. Pricey ones in the US market, Vroom moves up to spot number 1, Blackstone moves down to spot number 2, and Nvidia is on spot number 3. Here we're looking at how the sales growth has been for a company year over year, comparing it with its stock price, and we balance it with price to sale ratio. So the growth and Pricey is in that sense linked because the growth are in the top of that list of all the companies, and this Pricey ones here is at the bottom of that list. All right, that concludes the US. Let's go into the Canadian market. We start with the value stocks there. Royal Bank is number 1, TD Bank is number 2, and we have a newcomer. Canadian Natural Resources is on spot number 3. They have a $92 billion market cap with a price to earning of 9. Bank of Montreal is out from top 3. Dividends in the Canadian market, Tourmaline Oil is number 1, Algonquin Power and Utilities is number 2, and Enbridge is number 3. Growth stocks in the Canadian market, Air Canada is number 1, Boralex moves up to spot number 2, and trade places with Kinross Gold, who goes to spot number 3. Pricey ones in the Canadian market, Franco-Nevada is number 1, Wheaton Precious Metal is number 2, and Tech Resources is a newcomer in spot number 3. They had a sales decline of 25%, while the stock price was up 40%. Yamaha Gold is out from top 3. All right, this concludes the report for this time around. Thank you so much for watching. Meanwhile, you can always follow us on the Next Stock YT on Twitter. I will tweet anything that is happening in regards to companies whenever a new quarterly result is out. And you can follow us there before the next video comes out. Always gather a lot of information before jumping ahead purchasing stocks. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.